Alright guys, is Predator Badlands a success or not? Well, we're going to get into it because, no, not yet. Not yet. But it's also nowhere near as bad as what some people have been saying, and we'll look at it objectively, okay? I'm not interested in trying to play favourites here, but we will look at it objectively. There are some people who do these kind of box office discussion videos that have not stated all of the facts, and they are just facts. So, as you can see from here, Disney announced that Predator... It does sound weird, doesn't it? Disney announced that Predator Badlands opened at #1 at the domestic box office, right? So it did $80 million globally, which isn't horrendous. 40 million domestic, 40 million internationally. Now, this film is reported to have a $100 million budget. So when you're looking at it, $80 million doesn't sound great, does it? Because those that, you know, do these types of videos would say $100 million means that it needs to do $200 million to break even, plus marketing on top of it. It's not actually strictly true on this, and I'll explain why in a minute. But we'll get to that. I've got to keep you sticking around for some reason, haven't I? So Variety obviously dropped this this article here, and just said box office Predator Badlands ignites to series best $80 million globally. One battle after another, blah, 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 blah. So Predator Badlands clawed its way to $80 million at the global box office, ranking as the biggest debut in nearly 40-year-old franchise. Director Shane Black's 2018 reboot The Predator previously held the record with $73.5 million, not adjusted for inflation. So you start to adjust things for inflation. Is it the best? Who knows? Like, well, I'm not really, probably not. I don't think so, objectively. But we're not really here to talk about the adjusted for inflation. We're here to talk about whether this is a success for the franchise or not. And whether Disney, Fox... I know, is it 20th century? It's not 20th Century Fox anymore, is it? 20th Century Studios. Whether they will view this as a success. So, as they say here, ticket sales include $40 million in North America and $40 million in 52 international markets. Badlands also overtook the domestic record for 2004's Alien vs. Predator with $38 million, not adjusted for inflation. Meanwhile, this marks the franchise's second best international start after The Predator with $48.9 million. Top overseas markets were China with $7.4 million, which they wouldn't actually take that much money from China unless they've got a different deal with them, which Disney does tend to have a different deal with China than most other studios. The UK did $3.2 million. Big up the UK. That's a shithole, but never mind. Mexico with $2.3 million. So, Dan Trachtenberg directed Predator Badlands, which is the 9th installment in the series. Blah, 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 blah. This chapter cost $105 million to produce. So that's the take home, isn't it, right? It cost $105 million to produce. The filming was entirely done in New Zealand, which has guaranteed a $20 million, 20%, $20 million, although actually in this case it will be $20 million, a 20% tax rebate. So they will get $20 million back. It's not a tax rebate, they get a rebate on their total expenditure. So they would have got $20 million back if it was $100 million. It's obviously $105 million. My mathematics are not absolutely incredible, so we're just going to be rounding it down to $100 million. You can do some other statistics and figures on that anyway. So that puts it at an $80 million budget, which significantly lowers the barrier for it to break even. It still hasn't broken even yet. It hasn't. Okay. However, additional, and you can look all of this up, fact check me, it's fine. I'm just stating what the facts are. Some films, international films, also get a 5% uplift, making a total of 25% of their production budget that is given back to them. Right? Now that is if post-production work is done in that country. Now, I believe it was. So actually, that gives them a production budget of $75 million, if it was $100 million, $75 million as their production budget, which significantly lowers their barrier for break even. That puts it around the $150 million mark for their production budget. Now, that's not including marketing. I really have no idea how much their marketing was for their what their marketing budget was for this. It's very, very difficult to say on this one. Average for like a big blockbuster is genuinely like $100 million, $150 million, which is arguably mental. I mean, that's retarded. Like, it's way, way, way too high. Especially when all these companies have YouTube channels and things. So it doesn't really make any sense why people would do that. But I digress. So if it's $75 million as their production budget, again, rounding it down from 105 to 100, that's not bad. That's not bad. It is by no means the astronomical failure that some box office analysts on YouTube are saying, because they haven't accounted for these rebates. And you can look it up. Fact check me. It's fine. That is what New Zealand does. It was shot in New Zealand. And they did that for a reason. One, because it has such spectacular scenery. The locations are absolutely incredible. But also, very, very big tax incentives. Filming incentives. So, 75 million, 150. This movie will probably end up making money. I don't see why it wouldn't. I think it will cross, at the very least, its production budget break-even point of $150 million. But again, $80 million isn't, it's not epic. It's not like, wow, that's mind-blowingly incredible. But it's not a huge failure either. It's not a huge failure at all. Just being completely objective about it. Would Disney, again, still sounds really weird to say, but would Disney want more from this? Yeah, 100% they would. 100% they would. I would imagine so anyway. And actually, believe it or not, despite what people are saying in the comment sections of videos that they've aimed this purely at kids, it actually wasn't kids that went out to watch it. Believe it or not, because we had the data from Deadline. It was like 5 or 10% of the overall audience was in that PG-13 demographic, which is tiny. So actually, that could have been a thing which backfired on Disney overall. But there you go. So how is the box office? How is it faring? Not bad, not incredible, but it's certainly nowhere near as bad as what some people are making out, because some people are saying it needs $210 million to break even, which just actually isn't true from its production budget. Some people are saying it needs $300 million to break even, or 315, in fact, to break even, because they're trying to account for the 3 times multiplier. Well, even if we'll do the 3 times multiplier, for instance, that's still not accurate. 315 million just isn't accurate based on the fact it has, benefited massively from the New Zealand taxpayer because of the filming incentives in New Zealand. Again, look it up. 20% standard flat rate for international. That's just a standard thing that they do. So that is $20 million. Plus a 5% uplift, which you can almost guarantee that this movie would have been able to access, because I think the visual effects were done in New Zealand. So there you go. I don't have much else really to say on this. It's certainly nowhere near as bad as people are making out, but it's also not a smash hit home run either. And that's the case in point being objective, isn't it, really? So there you go. Thoughts down below. Bye-bye now.